This morning, our teacher updated us about her day, and she started her day, or her previous day, learning about a friend's death in the community. And even though in many cultures death is celebrated and honored, and there's a big dance, and it's not really an ending, it's just a transition to another state of being, which is the same as I believe, there's still deep sadness and grief in the ending of something. The last couple of weeks I've been in deep grief of the ending of the relationship with my partner as I knew it. It may transition. It's currently in the process of transitioning into a beautiful friendship where we'll still be in each other's lives, but just in a different way. And there's beautiful, and there's still grief and sadness in my heart about any sort of loss. You know, even a loss of one's own identity, one's loss of any materialistic things that they're really attached to, you know? I try not to be attached, but if I lost my home, I'm stressed right now because I need to be back in Canada to renew my mortgage. So this is a big stress, and I don't want that to end. I don't want my dream home to be gone. So there's always just this natural, I think maybe fear of change or transition or death. And then I guess I never know the topic I'm going to talk about. I never know the theme of my day. I have no idea. In the morning I wake up, I learn some things. I think of an idea. I think there's a word that really resonated with me. Yesterday's start with death was kind of a big shock. I wasn't expecting the teacher to bring that up in the morning or share that with us. And then in the night, there was no activity. So I went and I had time, so I connected with a previous family where I helped take care of their 20 rescue dogs. And I became very attached to them. And one of the dogs ran away. And so they're like in despair. They're hopeless in despair, almost hysterical. And they really trust, I'm an intuitive animal communicator, and they really trust my insight and my intuitive hits. And I know these dogs, I connect with them instantly. And so I know the one dog who ran away. I know kind of, where she is in the pack. I know her fears. I just know, I know her. I spent weeks taking care of her. And so for me, the message was very clear where she went. Last night in my meditation, I got the time she's going to be away, how to coax her back, what to do when they get her back. Anyways, that's just a side story. But then I asked about the other dogs who I was even really attached to. The ones that one was blind for a year and needed eye surgery, and that's why we were there, so she could go get eye surgery. Another one was called Scooter, and she didn't have legs, so she wore a diaper and had to scoot around everywhere, and I was just madly in love with her. There was a cat that was really ill, and I was just asking about them. And those 3, and this is just a couple months ago, and those 3 have all passed away. And I took it pretty neutrally. It's like, oh, okay, they transitioned out of their bodies, like it must be hard to not have legs and not see. And, the one was very ill, and the one cat was very ill. And so I was happy that they got to kind of leave their bodies. I don't know, I was neutral about it. But I was surprised because death is usually quite sad. And so in my yoga practice this morning, in this Savasana, where you really relax into all of the poses after all of your, morning practice, I really got to sit and kind of drop into some of that grief of the sadness of death and transition and ending, and permanent ending of things. It's always sad, even though it's like a beautiful transition. They left their painful little bodies. Death is a part of life, and just the cycle, as part of the cycle, is like equally as important. You know, I feel like being a human is heavy. Even though I have a light body and I try to be as light as possible, being a human I find is, well, it's heavy, it's dense, it's going into the human form I feel is dense, and to leave the soul to be free again, it's really quite beautiful. I love those dogs like they were my own, and for some reason I'm just so at peace with them, you know. Just died peacefully in their bed. They were sick, their bodies just shut down, and their time here on earth is over. You know, the word over, it's a big word, over. Over on to the other side.